So some of us are very good at waking up sleeping people. I will not say dogs, but I've said it. So, when someone just goes silent and maybe they were annoyed about something, and then all of a sudden you start coming, tickling them and provoking them and wanting to hang around them. Remember, you're hanging around them. They have other thoughts. Let me take you back to my story. After I said no to this gentleman, definitely there is anger. And then all of a sudden you want to maintain the same clique, be around, and while they're seeing you, like a beautiful girl walking around, all those things, or you're entertaining their calls, that is when people say she led me on. And then the crimes of passion, by the way, with leading on are actually worse, because someone is thinking, I got a different message while you were saying no, your body was saying yes. And so everything is lost during the interpretation. I want us to go into where do we run to? How do we bring this up, not in a way of throwing it around on social media and getting likes and getting, TikTokers to say something, but get real help and get real solutions and then be able to thrive and see the next day?
That's a very good one. This is what I do these days, and this is what I say these days. It starts with the author of Love, Relationships, and Emotions. It starts with God. And there is, every time you eliminate God from the equation, every time you eliminate God from the equation, you lose you're bound to be what they call it, a headless chicken. You'll just scamper all over the place. You'll be a headless chicken because you don't have a head. So you will just you know what you know what it's like when a chicken is just flying all over the place. So
no direction,
just to whom it may concern. Now, a lot of people today have decided to distance themselves from God. The fear of God is just, and that's where it starts. That's where the whole wisdom starts anyway. When you distance yourself from that, now you are on your own. And chances of you making mistakes are
very high.
Very, very high. Now, in terms of how do we correct, or how do we try to redeem a very bad situation? So, I think we all need to go back and take our places in society, and depending on what level of development or growth you are. If you're a parent, be a parent. If you're a wife, be a wife. If you're a father, if you're a religious leader, be a religious leader. Take up your place and do your
with proper values.
With proper values. If you're a teacher, be a teacher. I saw some videos on social media of teachers who are sort of encouraging kids to indulge in funny dances.
I saw that, and the teachers were really clapping and telling them to.
They were cheering on the kids. You're like, yeah, go on, and you bend,
even other funny things. Yes,
bend over. I'm like, oh no, there's a parent paying school fees for the child to go and learn new skills.
And the teacher is
and the teacher is the cheerleader. So there is no other way we can get around this. When we have eliminated God from the equation,
if we don't take our positions,
our positions. It's like number one, God, and then we also take up our place. It's God and our function as man, our responsibility, which we have been given.
When it comes to God, two things that I get from this, because in God we find the faith that life will get better. So and then we find the hope. That things will be okay. Now, once we lose those two things, because we pray because of faith, we don't sin against him because of faith. We walk away from certain situations because we have faith in him. And then the hope of, even when today things are not good, tomorrow they will be good. And I think if you lose those two things, you're a walking dead. Like you're literally walking on the streets and the headless hen that he was talking about. And when it comes to the parents or the people taking their rightful positions, now be in the position, but do what that position demands that you must do. Because there's you being a mother, but without you doing the motherly things, like having time for your children and creating systems and routines for them, and them knowing that there is such a thing as forgiveness, and there is such a thing as things don't go your way, they will not go your way every other time. So that some of these things are created in our minds or in our children's minds. But I think in this modern society, all parents hustle. We are in the hustle culture.
Yeah, the
Everyone
hustleism.
is chasing after dollars. And so these dollars are causing us to close our eyes to the main things that we must do
major
in our
things in life.
positions. So even, fathers, reverend fathers and pastors are chasing after dollars.
Everyone
and so they will not rebuke people that are out of line. Why? Because he's the biggest tither. So how do I even talk to them in such a way?
Can't say anything to them. Yeah.
I can't say anything to them. So that's what I get when he says, stand in your position and do what is expected of you. Plant the proper seeds. And the thing is, we're going to get so ashamed as the generation. I usually tell people that this is the last authentic generation. This generation is the last authentic generation. When you go to the next generation and our children, you realize that a lot has been lost in translation. And then a lot has been, the values have been eroded. And who erodes those values are the people that didn't impact the values, in the first place.
The adult around.
So we are going to grow, and that is when we usually say that we are creating a softer life for them, but that softer life is going to create a harder life for them. Meanwhile, we had a hard life, and we worked so hard to get out of it to create the good life
To avoid
that
what
we have
went
right
through.
now.
Yes.
But and they're the same people. When they get to a harder life, they will not be able to take care of us.
Definitely.
So it's only in this generation where a parent can never anticipate that my child is going to take care of me. We actually have to highly anticipate that we are going to take care of our children.
Well, it even gets worse or better. Our generation now has to look after the old parents, and we also have to look after the children
Exactly.
and also survive. So it's more like a two.
And we
It's
are doing
imbalanced.
well.
It's
We are
imbalanced.
not being depressed and being thrown off balance. Yes, there are those that are facing that. But just imagine that weight being transferred to this generation. Are they going to survive? Because they will come and tell you, I don't have rent. They will come and tell you, I have a wife, but I can't feed her.
Even when you have a house ready for that child, because we have parents today who have gone ahead to be so good. The son has a boys' quarter somewhere to start his family, But again, the man will want to get some food from the general store, from the main house.
Of course.
Yeah. So the trend is, of course, needs to be hijacked, like we are trying to. What should we do? We can't run away from God, definitely. Actually, ultimately, it starts from God and it ends with God. So whoever is struggling with whichever thing they are, you go back to your scriptures and see how these things have been able to be handled. Because remember, they're not new. They're not really new. And our God has not left us hanging. He hasn't left us hanging because he created us to have a good life. He created us to enjoy whatever the abundance that he has put for us. We want to tell the younger generation and people who want to tend to be violent that life is so full of abundance. Life is so full of abundance.
Whatever you are killing for exists in triplication.
Exactly. Why would you think that this is the last opportunity? Why would you think that this is the last girl I'm going to have?
No, someone told me, you are the yardstick of womanhood to me, and I don't think I'll ever get that a woman that is befitting.
Now,
do you see that level of possession?
But the English word
you are the
is...
yardstick, and until now, I know for sure they have tried to look for someone that fits my description, and they have failed.
But the important word there, Hilda, is yardstick. Yardstick provides us a number of options. You're not, because there is what we call, there's the other word where it is this single thing, but yardstick is a measurement whereby you could have
that
Hilda.
person mentioned it, meaning the other thing, or you're the only one. So, words are being misused.
Yes, and now we want to help the girl,
Yes.
that Hilda, that little girl, or the young, or the woman who has been told that you are the epitome. You're the queen. You're the
only one.
You're the only one. So we want to help these young...
Instead of bragging and feeling like you're the most beautiful,
yes,
can you save yourself?
What do you do? What should a girl who has been... Because these are things that have been probably told to, men have...
She has been idolized.
All the guys do it nearly the same way.
That what?
You're the only pea in my sumbosa. you understand. There is that style that is common to, and we need to help these.
Are those things happening in the real world?
They happen.
Faith comes by hearing, so men are very good at instilling that in.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when we got deeper,
have confidence that this man is interested.
Exactly.
So
and when you hear what that guy told you, you're going to find something similar to the other girl to me. You know, it's like, you know, nature has set it. You know, our creator has, you know, he created and he finished. For him, he's not creating love again. He created and he's done. So it's the styles that will, you know, differ. Roger is saying, you know, I'll love you till Lake Victoria dies. Till today, Lake Victoria is still there. But do you know how many girls have been like mishandled there, or you know, taken?
Remember Boys to Men albums and their songs of "I will cross the ocean."
They write to you the whole song, and then they put those are things that are.
But again, a person who says "I will cross the ocean for you" ends up crossing another ocean for another person. And then passion.
So a solution for a girl who is being told nearly the same lines that we were told. What should we do? What should she do? Should you drop out of school because they've told you they're the most beautiful girl in the world?
Chase your own dreams.
Do you know that if you listened, you know, closely, the next boy is going to tell you the same thing? That is if you've even availed yourself. So we want to tell these young people that, I mentioned it before, that many of these things that you're seeing that are exciting you and are making you animalistic, you know, you're becoming animals, they have been here. If you could sit with your mother and you tell her to retrieve the conversation, you know, that lured her into this marriage that she has, there will probably not so many different things. She was given some tokens. She was taken out to tipsy, you know, those things that then it was tipsy for us.
The father was the only one who had a Peugeot.
A Peugeot or something. So there were those things that were aligned or lined up to get your mother to your father's life. And it's just a few things that are different. Now for you, if you're going to kill somebody, or if you're going to be killed, or you're going to be burnt, you know, you are going to drop out of school. Yet your father and mother were able to maintain themselves as these chemistries were coming in and out. So we want to tell girls out there and the boys out there that these things are not so new. You just need to stop a bit and you're like, okay, now this girl is beautiful.
You're not going to collapse because someone said they love you.
Yes, you won't collapse. You won't get off, you know, your course. So when this happens to you, you know, you're feeling envious, you're feeling the jealousy.
And then a heartbreak is not going to kill you.
What are you going, or how can you be able to stay on the lane? Yes, it is hurting. Actually, I had, let me share this story shortly. There is a gentleman who told me that he was in school with his wife. But they you know, they got out of the relation. They got annoyed several occasions. In senior 3, they nearly like beat each other. And then in vacation, they got back. And then senior 5, they lost it. And then at university, they got back. So you understand that probably you are not in the right state of today. You're annoyed with each other. Maybe some words have not been said properly. But can you just withdraw a bit and see if this can even be given a second chance? Or if this person is even really worth it? You understand?
Yeah,
because I was reading somewhere, Hilda, where someone put that don't attach permanent emotions on temporary people. So I think that is a very... Why are you attaching... For example, you are in secondary school. That is probably O-level, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And you're attaching husband, you know, your entitlement, you're giving husband rights to someone who you're probably going to be with it for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You get it? So why are you putting all yourself, your today, your past, your future in one person?